I'd like to welcome in now Columbia student Rory Wilson. He and his friend tried stopping the takeover at Hamilton Hall. Rory, thank you so much for your time. I do want to talk about what happened, what you and your friend were trying to do at Hamilton. But first, just what is your reaction to what's been happening on your campus?
Well, it's been really hectic for everyone. It's been extraordinarily disruptive for any sort of final exams. People have been in limbo whether they think graduation's going to proceed. So overall, it's been quite chaotic for even for people who haven't tried to avoid the situation as much as possible.
Right, chaotic, I think certainly is probably an understatement. So, Rory, we're taking a look at this video. We can see you right there in the green T-shirt outside of Hamilton Hall. Kind of walk us through what was happening. What were you trying to do there?
Yeah, so what happened was I had already gone to bed, and a couple friends got me out of bed and let me know that something was going down on campus. People were trying to take over Hamilton Hall and occupy it, and I ran over to see what was going on. And they were carrying up iron tables to stack against the doors. And I went up with my friend right there, who's in the video, Charles, and just stood in front of the doors to try to prevent them from barricading things more heavily.
And how did that go, Rory, as we're taking a look at the video?
Well, I know people were making 911 calls since the situation was getting pretty extreme. And so I was expecting that there possibly would be some sort of campus security response, NYPD response. And so we were just waiting out and seeing if that would come. And ultimately that didn't come. So I left because a friend of mine urged me that he thought I was at serious risk of injury, that the crowd was possibly going to get violent. So.
Well, right. And so we saw you there. Right now we can see your friend there. And it kind of looked like he was pushed out of the way. Is your friend okay?
Yeah, he's okay. But they really manhandled him and forcibly basically just carried him away against his will. They were also trying to do that to me, but I was able to hold on to the doors so they weren't able to force me away.
And Rory, Mayor Eric Adams spoke out today about the police response on campus, talking about the fact that they were called in. And do you agree with the mayor that these have become clear violations of peaceful protests?
Yeah, I agree with the mayor on that. It really didn't have to get to this point. The university, in my opinion, handled this very poorly and letting it escalate to an extent where there had to be such a dramatic police response. It's very unfortunate that it got to this point, but I don't really see how else you would clear out a building from being illegally occupied.
Right, and I know, yeah, like even seeing the video of students breaking into Hamilton Hall, breaking the windows is very upsetting to a lot of people. How do you think social media plays into all of this?
I think on one level, I think my perception was that social media had been fairly inflammatory and showing the most egregious examples of things for a lot of the protests over the last couple of weeks. That said, with this, I think the social media probably accurately conveys the hectic, chaotic nature of it. It was pretty extreme. And then if you look at the police action yesterday, it was also quite dramatic. So maybe if social media was being more inflammatory earlier, it might just be an accurate representation for the last couple of days.
And Rory, how do you think this all ends? I mean, do you feel like this is the end? There's now this police presence on campus. Do you think finals will be impacted, graduation will be impacted? Kind of, what are your thoughts right now?
Well, we'll see how things play out in the next couple of days. If things normalize, then yes, I would expect that people can finish up their semester. It will be hard for people to get into the right headspace for their final papers and exams after all this. But I'm guessing if there is an NYPD presence until May 17th, as they said, that graduation will be able to continue at pace.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.